for parting has come. Our boundless future awaits. That's the end? Don't tell me that's the end. That's kind of funny, honestly. What kind of ending is that? Alright. I have a few things to address. First of all, let me read what I see in chat. Hey, yeah, I knew it. Like, as soon as they showed that flashback of Osborn talking to Reen, I knew it. I was just trying to get into the moment. Dude, okay, there's so much to address here. We'll go in chronological order. So, I want to make it very clear. Vita and Crow fight, very fun. Ordine fight, drags a bit, but also fun. Vermilion Apocalypse with the party, kind of lame. But then Vermilion Apocalypse with Ordine and Valimar, sick. Amazing final boss. So, that was amazing. Killing Crow, I'm just gonna say this, but, I'm gonna say this, I played Cold Steel 1. I thought Crow was kind of cool, kind of like Zealous from Symphonia, kind of the slacker. I thought Crow was cool, but then when Crow betrayed us in the first game, I was kind of like, dude, Crow is really making me not care, like, about his motivations. Like, I don't care about Crow at all. But then the second game did so well with making me care about Crow a little more. Like, they gave him a backstory. It was a simple backstory, but a backstory nonetheless. They set up this whole rivalry with Reen and Crow, which was really well done throughout the game. And they made it like, oh, Reen was like, oh, we're gonna save Crow, we're gonna bring him back to Thor's and make him graduate with Toa, Angelica, and them. So, second game did a good job of making me care for Crow. So, it was kind of sad seeing him die like that. What was even more sad was Grianos dying. Dude, like, Rufus just came in, slashed through Grianos like he was made of paper mache. Like, nothing at all. Like, just killing Grianos straight up. Like, what on earth? Like, that was crazy. And then, like, they revealed stuff like, okay, like, Vita revealed stuff about the Grand Master, who we'll probably learn more about. The Black Workshop was revealed, this Altina girl, there's so much. This game did a good job. It left so many questions. There's still some questions I have, like, the game didn't answer all of it, but that's great because there's 2 other games. And I think that playing Sky and Crossbell would increase your enjoyment of this game. Because apparently Chancellor Osborn had some sort of purpose in Liberl, so that probably relates to the Crossbell games. And now Rufus is gonna take over, like, occupy Crossbell? Like, Rufus being an Ironblood, that was wild. Also, Osborn being alive, the biggest twist. And the second biggest twist is Reen being the son of Osborn. That's wild. Once they showed that picture, once Osborn started talking to Reen, and before they showed that picture, the line of dialogue, before they showed that picture Osborn talking to Reen, I knew that was the case. And they built up to Osborn not being actually dead so well. They hid his death so well. Dude, this game did so well. But yeah, those are all the twists. Wild. Remember I said the first credits? Yeah, you said to leave after the first credits. No, at this point, I'm just going to review the game. We're at 6.5 hours. I'm fine. I can talk about the game. Honestly, there's not as much to talk about because there's still more to the story. Oh, that's a nice picture. There's still more to the story. There's not much to talk about. So, like, there's Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4. We are going to go back to Sky and Crossbell before we do Cold Steel 3 and 4. But yeah, let's talk about the game itself. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because it's really late. But, I did not want to go for over 6.5 hours. But man, if there's a game that I got to stream over 6 hours, I'm glad it was this one because this was a great game. 9 out of 10 game. This is just a phenomenal game. The story was really well done. Again, I think Cold Steel, I can't really rank the story as I would other RPGs because the story isn't done yet. The arc of this story, pacing, better than Cold Steel 1. The pacing of, like, finding Class 7, you start Act 1 finding Class 7, but, you start arc, what was I saying? You start, the first act finding Class 7, reuniting them after the cliffhanger of Cold Steel 1. That was really well done, getting all those reunions with them and the students. Then the intermission was great on the Pantagruel, learning more about the villains. Cold Steel just does such a great job of making me care for everyone, even if they're the villains. And I'm so glad. But yeah, intermission was really well done. The Pantagruel section was probably my favorite in the game. Act 2 was really well done, liberating certain parts of Erebonia, going back to the previous locations, gathering the students. That was really well done. The pacing and story were just so good. Like, while it felt like the story didn't move at all, but we got a lot more of the characters in this game than Cold Steel 1. And Cold Steel 1 did good building the world. Cold Steel 2 was a good continuation of that. So that was really well done. Gameplay was phenomenal. More of the same. Overdrives are a neat addition. Finale end. Let's go. Forward relentlessly. But yeah, we're going to talk about the game for a bit. But anyway, yeah, so combat, more or less the same. Really well done. Overdrives were a great addition to the game. Lost Arts, I wish I got more of them, but they were also in the addition. Cryptids were fun. I kind of wish I fought more of them. What I really like about the gameplay is the Courageous. Having the Courageous and having it kind of like, not an open world game necessarily, but like, kind of sort of like getting to go wherever you want, was very, very cool. So gameplay was a improvement over Cold Steel 1. More the same, but they add more stuff. Music is phenomenal, just like Cold Steel 1. Cold Steel is just known for good soundtracks. The characters did a lot better in this game. This is what I'm going to talk mostly about. There really isn't much to talk about because, like, there's still Cold Steel 3 and 4 and the Sky and Crossbell games, which can increase my likelihood of the game more. But yeah, I'm going to talk about this, then I'll read whatever's in chat. But the characters in this game did so well. I don't really have a ranking of sorts, but I will talk about them and how they change. They did really well with Reen. They did a lot better with Reen. I'm going to see what happens if I load the game, actually, and then we'll start talking about this. There's an end credit scene. March 1205. Hang on, I might have to hold that thought. Oh, this is Crossbell! Oh, are they annexing it? They're going to Crossbell to take over it? That was Rufus's job. What is this? This is crazy.
Guns have been hit! Sir, we can't compete with their airships and terrain like this! Oxens might be powerful, but they're still tanks!
We don't have to, just focus on defense! The others will take care of destroying them!
What is happening? This is clearly them invading Crossbell, probably. Okay, I'm gonna speed through this. We're still watching the scene. It's just going faster.
Are they the Empire's new weapons? How can we compete with something so mobile? There's nothing to fear! They may be mobile, but they're a damn sight easier to handle than that purple devil of Crossbell. What the? Huh? Ah! Incoming at 3 o'clock! What the hell?
Was that Valimar? Yeah, it's Valimar. What on earth?
Is that?
The Ashen Chevalier, the hero of the Imperial Army.
The area beyond here is Imperial territory. You have no business treading into Crossbell. That was a warning. Try to advance any farther, and I will show no mercy.
All units retreat! We're returning to the outskirts of Altair!
So Reen is like protecting Crossbell.
Wow,
Okay.
You're amazing! I knew you were the one who ended the Civil War, but seeing you up close, you're really something else.
Not at all. I'm still fairly inexperienced, if you ask me. Recover the wounded and any POWs and return to Tangram Gate. Just remain vigilant until the speech is over.
Yes, sir.
To be continued, Cold Steel 3. Divertisement. What? The game's not over?
It's now March 1205 of the Septian calendar.
Game, I gotta go! Why are you
Over 2 months have passed since the Azure Tree vanished.
What is this game telling me? The game's not over? No, the game's not over. There's another chapter. Is this like an epilogue of sorts? A post-game epilogue section? I hate that it forced me into this, though.
So much happened during those months. President Croix was arrested. Crossbell's movement for independence was promptly declared invalid.
Who is this guy?
And before anyone could process what was going on, Speaker McDowell became Mayor McDowell. The war in Erebonia came to an end sooner than anyone had anticipated, but it was quickly followed by the invasion of Crossbell.
Wow, 6 hours of a stream and the game's not over. There's an epilogue of sorts. If they didn't show divertisement, I would assume this is a post-credit scene, but no. They showed divertisement. This is definitely like a chapter.
Gorelia Fortress, which once served as the only physical link between the two nations, was no more. But that proved to be little more than a temporary setback for the Imperial Army, who acted by flying hundreds of tanks over the state from a vast airship. In no time at all, Crossbell was occupied. The Calvard Republic, which had been wrapped up in its own share of chaotic internal disputes, finally reacted to Erebonia's bold invasion in turn. It began with sending its cutting-edge armored airborne divisions into Crossbell, hoping to force the Empire out of the region completely.
Okay, this is nice,
Every
but
attempt they made resulted in failure, as they were repelled effortlessly by one soldat after another.
can I like just save, please? I shouldn't have pressed continue
And
after finale.
today, at Orcus Tower, the new seat of Crossbell's government, the new rulers of Crossbell rose to deliver a rousing speech.
This is interesting, though. We're in Crossbell. This probably relates to the Zero and Azure games. Seat of Government, Orcus Tower. Game, this is great, but like, I wish I had more time.
Friends and citizens, it brings me great pleasure to stand here among you once again. But even in the midst of such gladness, the specter of the harm Crossbell has visited upon the Empire lingers still. The destruction of Gorelia Fortress and the ensuing civil war it caused has taken a great toll in resources and in lives. The anger, sorrow, and dismay in the hearts of the Erebonian people is still fresh, still too near. But today is a joyous day, a day to put the troubles of the past behind us. Let us join hands and step boldly into the future, leaving our anger and grief behind. Challenges will rise before us, but together we shall meet them. Together we can rise above the tumult of these troubled times. Men and women, old and young, rich and poor, those from every walk of life can share in these aspirations. Looking toward that goal, there is someone I'd like to introduce to you today. A brilliant young man who played a pivotal role in bringing Erebonia's civil war to its swift conclusion.
Oh, this is showing Reen agreeing to Osborne's demands, I think.
And the individual most responsible for the historic accomplishment that sees me standing before you today.
Oh no, it's Rufus, never mind.
The first Governor General of Crossbell, Lord Rufus Alberea.
I was looking way too much into it. Oh no, this is what Osborn said before what
Greetings,
Rufus's
friends.
mission was.
It truly lifts my spirits to be here among you. I'm honored to have been entrusted with the profound responsibility of acting as Crossbell's first Governor General. As I'm sure you're all aware, the division between the nobility and the common people is a long-standing part of Erebonian life. Personally, I stand in support of our class system, but I fully expect that one day it will fade away. After all, if each citizen of the Empire conducts themselves with the courage, dignity, and grace expected of a noble, then what difference would remain between myself and any of you? As I hope for that day, allow me to speak not only as your Governor General, but as an individual when I say, in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Eugent III, I hereby proclaim the annexation of Crossbell into the Erebonian Empire.
May the goddess above stand witness, and may she forever bless Erebonia and Crossbell with the light of prosperity.
This is crazy.
We've got some real larger-than-life characters in charge of us now.
Game, I really need to wrap up though. Yeah, Grace Lynn, I have no idea who that is. Probably a Crossbell character.
Sure, the Imperial Chancellor's intimidating, but he's so charismatic that the people eat up his every word. I can see why he's the bee's knees over in Heimdall.
The new Governor General's something else too, albeit for different reasons. He's... how to put this? Difficult to hate. Like, he'd tell you to do something, and the next thing you know, you'd find yourself doing it just to see him crack a smile.
Well, Alberea is the name of one of the top noble houses in the Empire. Top 2 even. No surprise that the heir of such an affluent family would be popular. But it feels like there's more to him than that.
That's what gets me, though. Those two were on completely opposite sides during the war. So why are they both so buddy-buddy now? Very oddly sudden, in my opinion.
You're telling me? By the sounds of things, Erebonians can't make heads or tails of what's going on with it either. But you know how it is. There's so many rumors springing up thanks to the war, it's hard to tell truth from fiction.
Yeah, I've even heard about a 1,000-arch tall castle appearing in the capital. I mean, that's gotta be made up, right? There's no way something like that's real.
You've got a real short memory if you think that's bull. The Azure Tree wasn't that long ago, you know.
Point taken.
Please, game. Please.
Yes, this is the office of the Crossbell Times. What? Representative McDowell will be issuing a statement.
Sounds like something big's happening behind the scenes already.
I'll get to gathering some info on what's happening for our international section. Galvard's probably got some good stuff.
Works for me. Gotta use those connections of yours for something, after all.
Well, see you later.
Our independence came and went like bubbles on the water, and now we aren't even a state anymore. We're in for some tough times ahead. No, they always say that the pen is mightier than the sword. I won't let those guys outdo me. Chief, let me handle that story.
This is really cool, but please, I just have to go.
That's all we of Heiue can do for you, I'm afraid.
What on earth? Kyle Lee? Sure.
The guards have been given a little incentive to stay out of your way. You should face no more obstacles in your operation.
Thanks, Sal.
Think nothing of it. It's my pleasure to play all the cards I can. The place you're aiming for is where all the information in Crossbell gathers, as well as its Achilles heel. What you're doing does us no shortage of favors, I'll have you know.
Well, just this once? I'm happy to hear that.
I'm pretty sure you're Robbie Damon, but I don't have time to look it up.
Do take care, Yin. My apologies. Risha. I've received information that quite a skilled warrior is in Crossbell at the moment.
As have I. Nonetheless, thank you for your warning.
You're Erica Mendez. For sure.
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't want anything happening to a valuable future business partner. I believe that does it for me. I'll be praying for your success.
These are probably trails of the Crossbell game characters.
He's being awfully cooperative, isn't he? Then again, it's not a stretch to think he's only doing it because he's got something up his sleeve.
Now that I think about it, I have seen you before. You look very familiar. I've definitely seen you. You're probably, are you the main character of one of the Crossbell games? Or both, maybe? Because if Reen's the main character of all the Cold Steel games, you're probably the main character. I know Estelle and Joshua are the main characters of Sky. They're like, Estelle's the main character, but Joshua acts as a secondary main character. You're probably the main character of the Crossbell games.
He's an incredibly shrewd man. Most likely, he's happy to do whatever will shine the most favorable light on him once Crossbell's occupation period is over.
True enough. He wouldn't want to screw up his chance to potentially play mediator between Crossbell and the Republic. I get the feeling he'd get along great with Lecter. He's our ally for now, but there's no guarantee how long that'll last.
Exactly. It's in our best interest to remain wary of him. Still, if working with him helps protect those I care about most, then I'll gladly do so.
Likewise.
This is interesting. Crossbell City Underground, Geofront East Sector. Lloyd Bannings, okay. I gotta do research on these guys. I'm pretty sure they're Crossbell game characters. Rishia Mayo. I think they said Rishia.
Tio said to anchor the area up ahead. Crossbell's future rests in our hands. So let's get moving.
There's a TO in this game?
Right.
Okay. We're definitely wrapping up. For this chapter alone, you'll make your way through a dungeon controlling police detective Lloyd Bennings and ARC and CL performer Rishia Mayo. Full link to the text and overview are available. Okay. Well, this helps me. I don't really have to talk about the game. I tried to tell you. Well, that was your big mistake, Raptor. You shouldn't have told me. If you've been watching my channel, you know I like to figure things out on my own. Even if you were very vague in it, you shouldn't try to tell me anything. Like, I would have figured it out if, like, there was this whole chapter here. But, you know, at least you didn't straight up tell me, hey, there's more to the game. At least you were vague about it. But even still, I like to figure things out on my own. Okay, so this is really neat. You get to play as, they are Trails to Azure characters. Okay, I figured they're from the Crossbell games. But, this is kind of cool. Okay, so I don't have to talk about the game. I will just talk condensely about what just happened, because that was the finale. You would think the finale is the last chapter. But this is probably like an epilogue of sorts, which is really interesting. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the characters then. I'll wait to talk about the characters later. I will just talk about the ending. That finale, the Cold Steel 2, is phenomenal. And it makes a lot more sense why I ended with a cliffhanger. But, yeah. Anyway, it's great. Dude, I'm so happy. We're not done with the game. We get to play more. In that case, we are not done with the playthrough. We are going to do another stream or two. I don't know how long Divertisement is. But, we're going to do at least one more stream of the game and wrap it all up. I'm very excited. But yeah, 7 hours almost. My goodness. This is easily the longest I've streamed for. But, hey, this was a great game. Hell yeah, for 6.5 hours. This game is great. Cold Steel 2 is a phenomenal game. 9 out of 10. My only gripes with the gameplay, with the game in general, are, honestly, I can't think of much gripes. The only gripes I can think of are some of the bosses having stupid healing mechanics. Other than that, great stuff. It did so much to improve on the first Cold Steel. Just a great game overall. We're not done with it, apparently, so maybe it'd be more fitting to review the game later. But yeah, great stuff. I gotta go, so I'm gonna actually just wrap this up. Those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed this extra long. This is like 21, about 20 videos, something like that. But I hope you all enjoyed these videos, because I enjoyed the quote-unquote finale of Cold Steel 2. But quote-unquote finale. But I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm not sure how long Divertisement is. I'm not asking for an estimate, but I don't know how long it is, and I also do not know. I do not know what happens if something happens after Divertisement, like where we go back to Reen in the group. I'm not sure. But maybe one stream, maybe 2 more streams. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're definitely gonna do at least 1 more stream of the game, and that'll probably happen on Monday, is my guess. Yeah, I think Monday is when that'll happen. But yeah, that'll happen. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.
Right.